Let's demystify some of the conversions you saw in the previous video, displaying some things as numbers and then displaying them again as dates. That's just the handiwork of cell formats. A cell format is the format of a cell. Have I communicated? Obviously, no. A cell format is a setting that you apply on a cell to command how the contents of that cell should be displayed. In a very simple form, I'm going to type in 1000 here, like this, and then I can come right here on my home tab, right, and I will select the 1000 cell, and I'm going to change the fonts to red, like this. Okay, now when you check inside the formula bar, you are going to see that the 1000 is always black. Anything you type is always black, but the one you see inside the cell is red. That's because I have applied the red formatting to this cell. Now that red formatting I have applied is not on the 1000, it is actually on the cell, because I can actually press delete key on my keyboard now to delete this 1000, and I can type in ABC, and you will see that ABC also is going to appear in red. That's because the current format I have applied to this cell is to make the font red. As a matter of fact, anytime you get to click on anything on this your home tab within fonts, alignment, and something around these numbers, you are basically applying a format to your cell. And whatever format you have applied to that cell is how any content you put in there is going to be displayed. Okay, now let's assume that I have a date here, 1/1/2020. Then I can go to the section where I have numbers. If I click on the drop down, I know it's currently a date. I can click on the drop down here, and I'm going to look for this long date. So when I click on long date, you see that if I expand this out, that date is going to be displayed as this: Wednesday, 1 January 2020. But when you check inside the formula bar, you can still see our original 01/01/2020. But what you see inside the cell is Wednesday, 1 January 2020. That's because I have applied a format to this cell that is going to display any date in this long form. So if I change this, for example, to the current date for this recording, you can get the current date in Excel using the keyboard shortcuts Control and semicolon. So if I press Control and semicolon and I press enter now, you will see that this is Monday, 3rd of August 2022. Even though the original thing you have typed is 03/10/2022, but what you have displayed is Monday, 3rd October 2022. Now, what if I go ahead to change the font color for this date to white? Right? Now, if I go to any other cell now, you wouldn't know that, there is a content somewhere here. And that is why anytime I have to audit any spreadsheet, especially when it has to do with something that contains money, right? What I always do is I will always come right here to this bottom left angle, right? Where you see this, I'm going to click on that section. When I click on it, it will basically highlight all the cells in this worksheet for me. Then I go to formats, and I'm going to make sure I click a black color, so that in case if somebody has something hidden with font color white like that, I can easily see all of those hidden things plainly. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the next worksheet here, and let's assume that these are our date of birth as well. I would like to apply a long date format to this date of birth. Of course, I know when I make it long, I need to expand the width of the column, so I'm going to expand the width of the column beforehand. Then to apply the formatting across board, I'm going to need to highlight all of them like this. Then from my home tab, I'll go to the number section, click on this drop down, and I can select long dates like that. All right, Now for the numbers here, you see the numbers for my salaries are showing without comma separators. So I want to apply comma separators to these numbers as well, so they are easier to read. So if I highlight all of these numbers like this, I'm going to come to this same section where I have numbers, and I'm going to click on this comma separator right here. And you see they have the comma separators, right? Now, one thing you could notice is when I apply this comma separator value here, you will see that it also comes with 2 decimal places, right? Now, if I don't want to have the decimal places, I can adjust the decimal places by using any of these two, right? Now, these two things you see right here, they are the most confusing set of things you will ever meet in your life, right? Because you will never get used to them, right? Even as I'm about to show you right now, I'm not sure which one exactly is going to work for what I want to do. I just have to do trial and error. So when I highlight like this, you can use these two guys to control, you know, the number of decimal places that you can see displayed, right? So let's start with this one to the left. So if I click on this one to the left, you see that it's basically increasing the decimal places into 3 places, whereas what I want to do is to reduce it and basically show no decimal places, since it is all, you know, 0.00, right? So I have to use this other one. So the more I click, right, you can see if you hover on it, it's basically show you what it is, decrease decimal places. So I can use this like that until I make sure that there is no decimal place, but then I am able to see my 1000 separators, right? Maybe just one last thing here is I may want to underline this total value, right? So I could highlight all of the cells this way, and you can see your border right here, right? So if you want to make it bold, I can make it bold like this, and then I can come to where I have border. If I click on the drop down for this border, I think the one I want to use is the top and double bottom border. So each one of these borders, you know, can do different things. You've got left, right, and so on and so forth. But right here, I want to use the top and the double bottom border. Okay, so once I've done that, I can click out and see what my format now looks like.